So we've got a ton of people in this room. This is Cisco VIRL if you aren't sure of what meeting you're joining. So thanks for attending. So Cisco VIRL came out recently, came out on well, Monday, and been going through the install. So I can show you everything. I can show you the install process. I can show you the licensing, the wonderful licensing stuff. I can talk about the different versions. What I cannot show you is actually what happens after you click play, because the licensing on this thing is bombing out because Cisco's licensing servers are busy right now. So if you have actually purchased Cisco VIRL and actually got it to work, type in the chat window that you have been successful, and then towards the end of the meeting, I'll give you presenter and you can kind of show it off a little bit. But I can show you guys like 80% of it, and then up until the point where we actually click play, someone else is going to need to actually take a look at it. All right. And just waiting in the chat window. So in the chat window, how many of you have actually bought Cisco VIRL? So either you got the personal version or the academic version. Okay, so first off the bat, if you didn't know where the Cisco VIRL website was, very easy. viral.cisco.com. There's two versions. There's the academic and there is the personal version. There's no difference between the two as far as functionality. Both will work up to 15 devices. However, the only difference is the cost. So the academic version, I believe, if I remember correctly, was $79.99. Personal version was $200, $199.99. Right now they're giving a 50%, not 50%, I wish, $50 discount off the personal version. So that knocks it down to $150. Now you have to keep in mind this is a license for 1 year, so it renews and you're going to get charged again. So this isn't a perpetual license, a one-time fee. You're gonna continue paying money for it. The big question everyone has is, does it support layer 2 switching? It does not. And from the dev forums that they have, and I'll show you the dev forums in a bit, it's this guy right here. When you go to the viral.cisco.com, it's the community support right here, community support. And that's their dev forums. So from their devs, there doesn't really seem to be any plan on supporting layer 2 in the future. Maybe, but just from what I'm reading, it doesn't look like it. Now for the academic, a lot of people are asking, well, what exactly do they check on academic? All it is there's a box there that says what school do you go to or what school do you teach at. You put in a school, and I don't even know if they're checking, but you know, hopefully, right, you're being honest and you're putting in a school that you actually go to. What happens after you purchase it? Right now you're going to wait about a day. They're going to send you an email. The email, you're going to get your keys, and your key is looking like this. It's a file. It's a big long number, .viral.info.pem, and it contains a RSA private key. I probably shouldn't be showing you this, but you know, it's right there. Yeah, okay, let me get out of that screen. So they send you that immediately, and then you wait about a day and you get the download link, and then you download it. It's pretty humongous file. It's 3.7 gigs, and I'm telling you right now, the download servers are jammed, so it took me 2 hours to download, and we've got a 250 meg line here at Panda, so it's definitely not hitting that. Let's see. Does the discount apply to the academic version? Jeremy Grossman has that question. Unfortunately, no. That would be cool if it did, but yeah, it only applies to the personal edition. So from 200 to 150. And Ben says awful download. Yes, it was a horrible download. It actually took me 3 times to download it, even using a download manager. So It's horrible. It kept dying out. So I was getting about 100K at one time, and then it kind of sped up. I finally managed to completely download it at night, like way into the night. So while I guess the servers were uh, not as busy, right? So after you download it, you're going to get a file. After you download the file, you're going to be looking at a .ova file. And this is if you opted for the VMware download. They give you three types of downloads that you can pick when you buy this. You can pick the VMware download, which is like Fusion, Workstation, or Player, and the OVA will go into there. You can go for the EXXI download, or you can go bare metal. Bare metal means you're going to go full Linux on that guy. So you have three options. I chose the VMware Workstation option, the .ova file, so you can see right there. All right, so you download it, and now the real fun begins. Let me show you the install document. They're going to give you an install document, and it's a couple pages long. It's, how many pages is this? It is 6 pages long, and I'll expand this, right? Yeah. So this install document, the getting started part, it's going to want a certain number of virtual cores and a certain amount of memory. If you have a beefy computer, you could give it more cores. For the recommended is 4 cores and 8 gigs of memory. I gave it 4 and 12 just because. And the Intel VTX has to be turned on. So this shouldn't be a problem, because if you're running VMware Workstation and you run VMs, then you should be able to run this. But you should check on ARC, Intel ARC, for your processor just to make sure. And also, if you haven't done it before, you might have to set in BIOS your virtualization settings. If you don't know Intel ARC, it's ark.intel.com. ark.intel.com. This is where you can look up your processor to see if it supports VTX and VTD and all that stuff. So the way you Google for that is, let's say your processor is Intel 4770K, right? That's your processor. And then just put ARC after that. Your first link is probably going to be Intel, the direct link for that particular processor. And then you scroll down here, down under Advanced Technologies. And what you're looking for is yes, 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 all that yes. And VTX is what you're looking for. Don't worry about too much about VTD. It doesn't, VIRL doesn't require VTD, but VTX. Okay, we got a question here. What are the hardware requirements to install VIRL? Yes, well, it's in the document that they send you. So you're going to need something that can give you 4 virtual cores. So you're going to need at least 2 physical cores on that one, and at least 4 gigs of memory. Ideally, you should have at least 8. You're going to have a rough time if you do this with 4, but it will still work. Now, what happens here is, depending on how much RAM you give VIRL, it's going to affect the topology maker, which is Maestro. VM Maestro is what you see on the screen here. This is their GUI, I guess. Yeah, it is a GUI. It is their try at GNS3 type GUI. And what's happening here is this is talking to the virtual machine on the back end. Right? You make your topology here, you start it up, this is the front end, this provides the nice front end to the VIRL that's running in your VMware Workstation or ESXi. And what's cool about this, it's okay. I'm not that impressed with it, but to get it after you install VIRL, you go to a IP address, which is your own VM, and you're going to download the VM Maestro client. It's already inside your computer, so it's a really fast download. And they give you multiple options here. You can go the Linux route, you can go the Windows route, 32-bit. I don't know why they even throw that in there, but 32-bit, 64-bit, and look, a .dmg, so should be okay on a Mac as well. Right. So let's go back to that install document. It's fun. I have probably burned 4 hours on trying to, the install is okay, but the licensing is the crappy part. Probably 4 to 5 hours on trying to do this. You fire up VMware Workstation. So here's VMware Workstation. Let's go back home here. You open a virtual machine, you find the .ova, you give it a name, you import it. After you import it, you get the machine and you have to edit the settings. All right. So here I gave it more RAM. I gave it 12,500 megs, 4 processors. That's how much space it's taken up. And then you have to add in 4 more network adapters. 4 more network adapters. And VMnet 1, VMnet 2, VMnet 3, VMnet 4. Right? Those have to be added in. And then you have to go into Virtual Network Editor and set all of those networks to a certain IP address range, and you have to kill DHCP. So some of you, not saying who, don't admit to this, some of you may have played with something similar called IOU, where you had to do something like that. So if you're used to doing that, then this will not be any different. It's very, very similar. Okay, so Jeremy Grossman asks, do you know why it needs the 4 network adapters? So they explain it somewhat in their document. Yeah. So the 4 more, you get the network adapter 1 is built in, and that gets you to the internet. They say that's the NATed one. You don't mess with that. And then you add in 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm guessing those are for internal connectivity or whatever that they're doing. Maybe this will make sense as we look at the IP addressing. So we see here that I've got VMnet 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can see their scheme here. You have to set it at 172.16.1, .2, and .3 for 1, 2, and 3. VMnet 4 is the different one. VMnet 4 has to be 172.16.10. Don't know why. It just, that's what they want you to do. Right. So you can, I'm sure you guys can already see all the points where people can mess up here if you're not careful, because if you go into their forums, there's a lot of people messing up on the install because, well, okay, you install it, maybe you forget to add in the VMnets. You know, you've got VMnet 1, that's great, but maybe you don't have 2, 3, and 4, so you forget that. You forget you don't do the subnet addressing correctly. That happens. VMnet 4, you're on autopilot and you set 172.16.4 instead of 10. I can definitely see that happening. And you have to kill DHCP from all of those. So lots of points of failure for that. Right. Okay, so you set the network adapters, and then we start up the virtual machine. It actually starts up fairly quickly. It's not too bad. And then you get to the login screen and it's viral, and then the password is capital letters viral. So as I said, this is their GUI front end. You can see it sort of has the pane, you know, the multiple panes look of GNS3, something that you guys are all familiar with. We have our nodes all the way here on the left-hand side. It's iOS V. It's XRV, which is cool. CSR 1000V and NX. So you get Nexus, and you can throw in a server, which is a Linux variant. And the cool thing about the servers, I believe it looks like you can give it different sizes for the servers to simulate, I guess, different things. And then we have like our types of connections over here. Let me expand that so you guys could see here. Right. And then projects in the bottom left-hand corner. So there's our nodes. Now, as some of you are well aware, you can already do iOS V, XRV, CSR 1000V in either GNS3 or other things. So you didn't really need VIRL for that. And actually, all three of those are legit. Cisco offers that to you for free. So you're not breaking anything by using those three within GNS3. The Nexus is cool. It is a nice touch. And with servers, as you know, you could already do servers in GNS3. And up here in their play and stop, that should look somewhat familiar. Creating a topology, pretty easy. You drag this in. It's actually not drag. It's you click on it. So now iOS V is selected. As I move myself into the topology window, my cursor turns into the plus, and you left click, left click, left click, left click. So I spent 30 seconds when I first got trying to drag, and I was like, hey, it doesn't work like the other guy. So you just click, click, click. So that part's pretty cool. And then what you can do is you can right click on it, you can undo it. You have a couple other things like this distribute nodes to grid. Don't know really what that does, but yeah, you've got kind of not too many options with the right click. Select, you have the drag. You could drag a whole box. That's not too bad. As you click here, you can see down at the bottom pane, you've got your details. Oh, also I should probably show you, let's see, files and preferences. That's their preferences here. There was one this was interesting, the nodes subtypes, node subtypes. So this is actually pulling from VIRL on the back end. So whatever you have set in VIRL as far as devices, this will pull from. Kind of like how GNS3, when you go and you do the VirtualBox, it pulls from the VirtualBox link. So you can see there's the CSR and XRV, all that stuff, right? And kind of interesting, if you look at the XRV and the NX OS, you can see the minimum and maximum interfaces. So I'm assuming they're going to let you throw in 26 interfaces on there, or 27 interfaces as far as the Nexus. Okay, let's go back to VMware. Let's see if I'm back up. All right, so VIRL has resuscitated. There we go. So you can see it's based on I can't say it. It's the Ubuntu with an L. All right. So this is what you get when you start up. You've got a couple icons here. They want you to go into Xterm right away on your first boot. So Xterm, and you have to do a lot of Linux stuff to get the licensing down. Yeah, yeah. Jeremy has it there. So Ubuntu, just add an L in front of it. And this part is probably where people are going to have lots of fun on this one. So they tell you, okay, go open up Xterm, maximize it, sudo kvm-ok. And this is just to make sure that your your KVM is working okay. So right, acceleration can be used. I'll zoom in. Oh crap, can't really zoom in while I'm in the VM. There we go. Right. So they want you to do a bunch of commands. They want you to screw around with NTP. They want you to do quite a few things. And this is to get your time in sync, because you're going to need to talk to a licensing server to download a whole bunch of stuff. And if your time is off, it's not going to work correctly. They want you to do like, ping cisco.com. They want to do that. And okay, that was kind of scary. So you're doing quite a bit of manual work here. They want you to do Nova service list, and the reason for that is all these services have to do with licensing and all that other stuff. All of this has to work before you start and do your license verification. Okay, so we have a question here. Eli, does it call home if you're working offline? Okay, so this was explained in their forum. After you do the licensing correctly, so I've still have a couple other steps before we actually get to the license checking part, but assuming you do all that correctly, what happens is it starts a timer, kind of a 7-day timer. You can work offline and do all the wonderful terminal stuff and dragon routers and make them work and all that for 7 days. At the end of 7 days, if you haven't connected or verified your license, the topology part will work, but you just can't start anything. Right? So you can do most of the stuff, not most of the stuff. You can do the setup, but the actual running of the simulation, clicking that start button, that's not going to work out. Also, I'm sure some of you guys are going to like this. On their forum, they have a nice post about information that VIRL is sending back, and it's actually the top post right here. So someone asked about internet access and data mining. What information are you sending back? That VM Maestro that I'm showing you, this guy right here, where you're dragging in all the routers and stuff, everything that you do inside the VM Maestro is being sent back to Cisco. So the types of routers that you're using, the links, what Cisco says is the configs aren't being sent back, but everything else is being sent back. Right. So you can read that in their top post. It's pinned. So internet access and data mining. Right. So they are actually logging data, certain data. So. All right, let's go back to here. So the sudo, they make sure that works. The ping, the Nova list, they make sure that's okay. And then they want you to stop NTP, update it, grab a trusted MTP from pool, and then restart it. So that is to synchronize the time. Now here's the crappy part. When you get VIRL, some of you Linux guys, if you're not a Linux guy, you can kind of ignore all this. You know that inside of the etc folder is the ntp.conf. There we go. This is the settings for NTP. Right here, you'll notice that, scroll down here. Okay. Right here in my ntp.conf, it's set to server pool.ntp.org. I had to change that because what they put in there, you're going to laugh at this, what they put in there is something else. When you first get VIRL, it's not that. It's something that is internal to Cisco and you can't reach it. So the license verification will bomb out. So let's see if I have that screenshot saved. Okay, that's the error message when it dies. Ignore that. Okay, here we go. So a lot of people are having problems with the NTP bombing out, and the reason is it's set to server ntp.esl.cisco.com. That is apparently a internal only Cisco NTP server, and that's why it's bombing out. So probably what happened is in the QA portion they just missed this part. Yeah, it is brutal. There is a post on the viral forums about that. Everyone's like, "Hey, can't authenticate." Well, you may want to check this part. Okay, so now the wonderful part. They gave you that .pem file. What they want is you're going to have to check your IP address because you're going to need to remote in. And this part's okay. This is not too bad because on the desktop they give you a IP address. It's probably just a script. You double click on that. It runs ifconfig and does a pipe. And so 128.135. That's mine. Yours is going to be different. And then you're going to remote in, quote unquote, through your browser, and you're going to go basically into your machine, into your virtual machine, and this is what you're going to get. You're going to go to User Workspace Management. The password is UWM admin, and password is password. You don't need to change that. And this is your kind of the overview that you get. This is basically just showing you, how heavy duty your computer, your virtual machine is running. So the wonderful licensing, it's under SALT status. SALT status. And you can see here, oh, now it works. Amazing. It actually worked. After all those times. I really don't want to click reset keys now because now it works. So you can see here that it just contacted, expires in 7 days. So you get 7 days offline, and I'm allowed 15. So presumably, maybe in the future, maybe they could change that to 20 or whatever. But to do the licensing, you click reset keys and ID. You have to enter in the first part of that license file, except the .pem. So some people left in the PM and it bombs out, so nuke that. You have to put in your email address. Some people are having problems because Cisco CCO remembers like an old email address. The list of salt masters, salt-master, salt-master 2. They tell you this in the instructions. And then you paste in all that evil private key stuff into here, and then you click reset. And what was happening to me for several hours is I was getting this over and over and over. It basically says status check is failing, it's temporary, we're getting bombed, blah, blah, blah. Try again. Right. Check your settings, try again. So right. So I don't know about you, but before we continue, so GNS3 to me, even with all of its issues, there's not many now, but some of you had some issues firing it up. Nowhere near this. Like this, you've got to be. If you don't know Linux, you're in a world of hurt here. So I'm just saying that right now. Okay, so that's the whole licensing part. You can see it's quite extensive. And then they want you to finalize the configuration. Right? So I have to go back to VIRL inside of the VM. To go back here. And they want me to double click install networking. And I have to reboot. Oh, you bastards. Okay, so install networking right here. And who knows what it's doing. Oh, let's zoom in. It's doing something in sbin/ZFS. ZFS is a quite popular file system out there. So while we're waiting for this, in the chat window, what do you guys think so far? How do you like that install document? Dave says, I think Viral has Ebola. Jeremy says, is this what they call plug and play? This is nowhere near plug and play. Here's my personal opinion on this. I think Viral, probably when the engineers had it, when it was an engineer-only thing, was a great program. But then they added the licensing part, and that just screwed it up. I think Viral probably could have come out much earlier, maybe a year, month, 6 months earlier. But probably what happened is the licensing people got a hold of it and turned it into Cisco ASA type licensing. That's my personal opinion. But you can see how this is definitely not plug and play. There's no way you can download this and be up and running. So that script is still running. I could probably right click on this. Okay, so that's their networking script. Yeah. Oh, the viral.ini file. This should give you an idea of how long it's going to take in the process. Wow. And I'm on a Core i7 laptop. Here we go. Okay. Succeeded 16.0. That's good. Thank you for waiting. Your call is very important to us. What? So you are seeing it as I'm seeing it. This is there anyone in the room that actually got Viral to work other than me so far? Okay, it's still going. Okay, so they say install networking, blah, blah, blah. The terminal window will close out upon completion. All right, so I guess I have to wait for that. I'm going to have to reboot. I'm going to have to install changes. So I got 3 more steps after that. All right, so terminal window's gone. So they want me reboot, install changes. All right, I can do that. This is interesting. Okay. Oh, I see how they did it. Oh crap, I missed a step. So if you look on my desktop, you see how these icons are labeled? 0, you edit Viral. 1, you install networking. 2, you're going to reboot. 3, you're going to install changes. 4 is you're going to reboot again. So there's 2 reboots required. And there was nothing about editing Viral in the... Oh, they missed a step in their documentation here. All right. Fine. Dear God. I don't know if this is going to work. I was supposed to edit that, unless it filled it in. Maybe it'll work. Okay, we'll do the reboot. We'll continue as if it worked. So here we go. Okay, we'll cross our fingers. Okay, there we go. That's a good sign. All right, so that was step 2. I'm going to double click install changes. Let's see what happens here. Jeremy's asking what changes. I'm guessing the changes that it did for the network stuff. Number 5, double-click install changes. Viral will now be configured according to customized deployment settings defined previously. This step may take several or more minutes, depending on internet bandwidth. All right. So it's doing some updates, I'm guessing. Okay, we have internet connectivity. Okay. Oh, here we go. It's doing stuff. Oh, that's not good. Attempt to authenticate with Salt Master failed. No. So, yeah, we got a comment. Might just stick with GNS3. I think at this point, it's a little rushed. It has promise. I was kind of hoping that layer 2 would be in it because it's coming from Cisco, but it's not. The Nexus inclusion is cool, but I don't really need to play with Nexus. It certainly looks like if we go down here, go back to VM Maestro, we click on iOS v1, click on AutoNet Kit. It looks interesting if I'll just drag that up. So this does look pretty cool. Auto-generate the configuration here. So I put in the ASN, the OSPF, BGP stuff, loopback, OSPF information, and I'm guessing as soon as I click generate or whatever that it will make it, or auto-generate. Maybe you'll just paste that in there. So if that does work, that would be pretty darn cool. All right, so click the drop down. Oh, hey, we'll pick ISIS. IBGP, I'll do route reflector client, so, and you do other stuff. MPLS, GRE tunnels. So I'm assuming that if we can actually get this damn thing to work, I'm assuming that when we boot up, it will show the config right here, and when the router starts up, that everything will already be pasted in the router. And hopefully you'll be able to save all that. Yeah, should be under the topologies and the projects. Okay, looks like our install changes script is still going. 7 succeeded, fail 0. All right, still churning through. Now there is a updated version of the install document when you go to the VIRL website. VIRL. Under, I think it's documentation and install. Here you can pick the specific one for your, I'm guessing these are updated, I hope. So VMware Workstation. And this should be the up-to-date version. And then assuming install changes works, we have another reboot, and then we've got to validate, open backup xterm, validate all those services are running, and I got to verify that things match. That's going to be interesting. And we already have Maestro up and running, so I kind of went backwards. I jumped ahead and did the Maestro. They did not include the INI edit. So yeah, I think that was step 0 right there. Edit viral.ini, and nope, not in there. I'll paste the, oh actually I can't, I'm on the other computer, but you can go to viral.cisco.com and take a look. Yep, I can do that. NTP, NTPQ-P. Whoop. NTPQ. I'll zoom in. Okay, so Paul, I guess Paul, you're doing the install as we speak. What you want to do is sudo vi that ntp.conf, and it's probably got those stupid esl.cisco.com NTP addresses in there. So your ntp.conf probably looks like this. It's got the server ntp.esl.cisco.com, and that's probably why it's bombing out. So what you do is you stop NTP, edit this, save it, and then restart. And I think you have to do another command like -gq or something like that to get it to query and sync up. Yeah, because I'm sure if you try to ping ntp.esl, let's see, so you should be able to ping, obviously cisco.com you should be able to ping, right? Ping ntp.cisco.com, probably not. Maybe they're getting hammered. And then what other people do is they replace all this, they nuke all this, and they say they just do pool.ntp. That one should always work. Okay, our install changes script is still churning away. So it was really interesting to me, like in all the forums and Twitter and all that. Oh, VIRL is finally here. Great. But it's in my view, it's only finally here if you can actually boot it up and get it to work. And it's one thing to be able to see it in the store, but it's another thing to actually click play and configure a router. So comment, Dave, how did this pass QA? I'm guessing they had to make Cyber Monday. And it was just like, F it, we'll publish it on Cyber Monday and we'll deal with the consequences. I mean, there's enough Linux guys in the audience. Looking through this, you can see that a lot of this could have been scripted, right? Like all of this checking, you could have consolidated that into one script. And why even have the user do it? You should just do it when you launch, I guess. Or maybe that's asking for too much. The activation part definitely could have been made a lot more user friendly, because having a user go into this section and enter all this in, you know, I don't know. I guess on the bright side, I had to relearn VI. I forgot all that, but so I mean, that's good. Do they have nano in here? I would hope so, right? Yeah, they have nano in here. Yeah, you could do that. VI is great just because after you edit it successfully, you feel like a man. Like, it's the old school way of doing it. Dear God, this thing's still going. Okay, so I think by now you get a sense of how wonderful the install is. I'm not going to make you guys wait because I actually have no idea how long this is going to take to install. You could be waiting for a long time. If you want to hang around and see if it's successful and then see if the routers boot up and stuff. Oh, yeah, okay. We might have scared it into working here. So if you want to hang around, I don't know how long it's going to take, but you're more than welcome to. If you want to take off, that's cool. And what I'll do is the video will be edited much shorter. I'll take out all the pauses and stuff, so you won't have to wait as long. Oh yeah, I just noticed that. Reboot. Look at that. The sad smiley face. Okay, so we have a question. If I was studying the data center track, would this be helpful? That's from Eli. Well, assuming that you can get this to work, the NXOS, yeah. Now, it doesn't have everything in NXOS. If we go to their forums, they'll tell you what works and what doesn't work. So not all the features are there. Oh, they had a post saying what was supported or not. But I mean, if you don't have a Nexus at work that you can play with, this will definitely help. It's better than nothing. I mean, it would be helpful. I don't know if it's, you know, is it as helpful as renting tokens from INE? That's your call. Okay, so Eddie Hernandez, I'm also interested in NXOS config, saying port profile. It should support most of the basic commands, but more complicated stuff, probably not. Jeremy says NXOS doesn't support VPC layer 2 stuff, correct? Don't know how to answer that. I haven't actually gotten this to run yet, so don't know. Now, for those of you guys who maybe somehow got your hands on Titanium, the internal Cisco stuff, it should be very similar to that as far as feature set, I think. Does anyone have good feedback on Cisco Lab Builder, CCI Lab Builder? Oh, let me tell you about CCI Lab Builder. I've been waiting 10 days for CCI Lab Builder, and I finally just had to ask for a refund because, I ordered it, $300, and they kept saying, wait, and just waited too long. So, and my install changes script just finished. Let's do a reboot.
I didn't have to install anything.
Like it went quick?
No, I didn't have to run anything. I'm like, where do you see that you have to do the install script?
It's those icons in my install document. Are you using the workstation one or the ESXi one?
That's the workstation one.
Yeah. Yeah, you should have the same steps as I do.
Well, I went from the install thing right here.
Yep.
And it doesn't mention anything about updating. If it did, I missed it. So,
well, scroll up.
Scroll up.
Yeah, scroll, keep going. It's after the licensing. They have like the install networking, do changes, all that. Yeah, that guy.
I skipped all that.
Really?
Like, screw that. It's gonna take forever, and it works. So,
Oh, all right.
you know. So yeah, I mean, let's go to. I'm gonna run a new topology. I'm gonna call it test. New topology. Save it in here, and I'm gonna tell it topology to the file. My mind is blown. Right. Here's the show XOS. XOS. CSR 1000V. XRV, which is going to make all the SP guys super jealous. And I believe I covered most of my bases, right? I got them. So let's just say I'm running a data center, and it would look a bit like this. Okay, got my CSR, and then what? I would probably have my proprietor code, and then two customers, right? It's not crazy. And let's do this. Okay. And going on save changes, please okay, save the changes and continue. Okay. It will appear in the simulation view. Can I launch it? Would you like to open this perspective now? Sure. And there you go. So now this topology is saved changes. Yes. Okay, so this is in the build stage, and when it becomes active, it will actually show. So like this is on deploy build, blah, build to active. So this one is booted and ready. So I can probably go here and say, oh, it's 1707, but I'm not interested in I'll wait for all of them to be active. See what happens. We want to do the XRV 17009. Okay, let's do this. Let's close all. Let's go for the gold. Is it going to work? Placing bets.
Sure. $1. Oh, yeah. Looks good.
I have to press enter. But
Cool. Mine's finally up. That GUI is kind of
oh, I
it's
mean, like we all knew that it was going to be buggy, but just a chance to play with it was
yeah.
worth it. I'm like, I paid the full price for it just because I'm expensive.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay, so no. Jeremy has a question. No way to use secure CRT from Maestro. Oh, directly from Maestro?
there's TCP over WebSocket, and I think that you can set. I assume. I know that it's a big thing to assume anything, but if you go into the terminal, there's got to be a way.
Yeah.
I'll try to look it up.
Yeah, it looks like in preferences under terminal you could use external.
Yeah, but then like you gotta do like arguments and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't haven't done I've literally been in this for 5 minutes, so bear with me. Preferences, let's see. SSH, key management, install, update, show all versions, latest versions, blah blah. Install or update software that are already installed. Who cares? Terminal. Cisco terminal. It's somewhere. It's gotta be somewhere.
Ooh, what's that?
Expecting.
OpenStack.
Of course. Content, web browser, security, search. Yeah, there's not much. But yeah, that gives you an idea of what's going on. Now my question is, I got this version because it's on my laptop and I can just move around with it and study with it. You know, that's the whole point. The VMware version is great if you have the server on 24/7, which I will not pay the power for that. And from what I hear, the bare metal is just dreadful.
Yeah, I didn't even consider bare metal. I was like, oh boy.
I mean, and I know I can deploy this image onto a VMware server in about 3 clicks, so I'm not worried. And the bare metal, I guess you could install, but like, since this is the first release, I expect problems, so I expect to stick to as much of the guide as possible, except I didn't update because I'm sure that the stuff was already broken. And knowing that you could actually break stuff, I'm like, no, I'm not doing the hour-long install that Humphrey just did with his 250 meg download.
Yeah.
I don't have that much bandwidth, so. But yeah, I mean, they have their little client here, but if you got enough brains to figure out that there's a port here, 17014, let's go see the Nexus.
That would have been nice.
You know, like a 5505 type thing, like not like the big ones because you can't really simulate how to work there. So you go back to design, got a server. Nope, I don't want 50,000. Gotta go back to this. What do we have? What can we set? Server? External router? Okay, that wasn't here. External router. Have you seen this? Humphrey?
Yeah, I saw it. It's pretty...
No, but like...
What does it do?
I have no idea. So you can change the icon or something. You can have VM images. What sort of VM images are we talking about? They're probably KVM, so you could upload your own thing to have like your Ubuntu or whatever. I'm not gonna set any of that up.
Oh, I figured out the auto config. If you go up to run,
What, up there?
yeah, and then build initial configurations,
Yeah.
it'll build the build all that crap, hopefully, and then click yes. Yep, right there.
Right.
So
Now it just makes whatever and it shows you this map, and now when you click things, does it do anything? Like it's like, oh, here's all these things. Does it have IPs or anything? Or
yeah,
I mean, here's my thing. Like, it had me do all sorts of networks, right? They're like, what's the IP between this and this? Like, there's got to be some way to say, okay, so there's this dialogue.
like add text.
Okay, 10009. It shows me here, and this is 10001. Okay, 10010, 10014. Okay, it's not awkward at all. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see. It says that this guy is only one thing. Okay, so gigabit 000. Yes.
It's well,
I mean, it's very very tweaky. Okay, I will, but I sort of expected that.
yeah.
It's not for noobs, that's for sure. Like guys that are just starting out, they're gonna look at this and go, "What the heck is going on?"
Yeah.
I can't see chat because I'm presenting.
Let's see, we got a couple. Jose says too complicated. We should be spending time on devices. Yeah.
No, but like, I'm gonna say this: if you're just trying to play with some Nexus and play with some XR and get like a couple of simple configs in that are cute, like cross-platform, like to learn your CCNA data center and to learn your CCNA service provider, it won't be bad at all. It's gonna be actually interesting. Um, does it work all the way? No. It doesn't change hardware, but can it get you much closer if you don't have a Nexus, if you don't have iOS XR access?
Well, if you can get past the install,
Yeah, I mean, I believe that on the second version, they're going to iron out a lot of the bugs. A lot of, like, the document, we didn't tell you this. I think that what really messed me up was the NTP wasn't right for a long time, and I edited it like 25 times. So, it's like something clicked at just the right time, and I finally got an association, and once I did, everything started working. So I think it's all based on NTP.
yep.
The thing is that you can bind with any NTP you want. That means that you can even make an NTP server and just say the time is, 3 days from now, and it's still gonna work. It should still work.
I don't know about that because it's going to talk back to Cisco. It might bomb
Yeah,
out.
but like, all they check is that you have an NTP, right?
Well, I would assume that the times have to be somewhat close together because they're checking, they're doing that whole key salt hash, all that bullcrap. But it might be worth a shot. Jose says, do you think this is reliable enough to simulate production networks? Nah.
Dude, it's the first version and it just came out. Come on. Do you know any Cisco product that on the release day everybody said this is the best thing since sliced bread? No. They all have bugs. They're all gonna get ironed out. Is it gonna be as smooth as GNS3 is now? Maybe, but not today.
No.
Give it a bit. I mean, it's just the fact that it's supported and I can bitch at someone other than Jeremy. That'll be great.
Yeah. Well, it's somewhat supported. You can go into you got like the viral dev forums that you can go to. But I mean,
Yeah,
on the
but
plus side, they could
nine.
throw money.
Yeah, but like 95% of the questions that you're gonna get on the forum right now are going to be about where's the documentation for the use of the program. At least I don't think they have that.
No.
I mean, to have, do they have any videos? Do they have any? No, they don't have anything. They push it out. All of this stuff is going to be generated after the fact. So, like, they know that the people who are going to buy this have, their CCIE or their, like, the ones that are the first to jump on ship are not the brand new guys with Cisco. They're the guys that have been around and
Yeah.
know stuff. So, so they're not really that concerned. But is this going to replace Packet Tracer in Cisco Academy? I believe eventually. Why not? Is it there yet? No. But could it make a merge with Packet Tracer and do it? It's a fair question. I mean, think about it. It's way closer to real hardware than...
Then Packet Tracer, definitely.
Yeah, so you're like, okay, but layer 2 doesn't work. Well, in Packet Tracer, nothing works. So it's a pure simulation. At least this, when I do a question mark, I don't have just 5 commands. I got like 6 screens worth of crap.
Yeah.
Do all of them work? I don't know. But just like GNS3, we'll find problems, and now I can't just hit Jeremy and just say, hey, that doesn't work. Now it's just some random developer somewhere at Cisco that's not gonna give a crap. It's gonna be right.
Yep.
How are we expecting that?
Yeah. So what I'll be doing in the next couple days, I'll be messing around with this, as I'm sure lots of people will be, and we'll be making some training videos. Although this is going to be painful. I got to learn all this shit. But
No, I mean, I really think.
yeah. Well, we'll try it out. The first couple things I'm going to try out are Ether channel, multicast definitely, and some other things. But yeah.
Ether channel.
Channel group. I don't see channel group.
Nope, no channel group. There's gotta be a way. There has got to be a way. There's gotta be a way around this. I don't see channel group either. Bridge group, you could bridge, but
Yeah.
I doubt that's layer 2. So why is it there? I don't know. They probably didn't take it out. To you. PPPoE, anyone?
Yeah. Well, maybe you can't do it on maybe on the NX, the Nexus.
Is it Cisco and Cisco?
Yeah, try that. Hmm?
Or it's blank. And they're just trolling the whole time. Cisco admin and Cisco, something like that. It's, you know, like, that's the kind of stuff that you kind of wish that you had.
Admin?
Oh, we can try that. Admin? Admin. Yep, okay. So the NXOV, okay. What do you want to see?
Let's see if there's any ether channel options.
So, ether channel, let's see. Oh, let's see what, Ethernet 2.1.
Yeah, let's go into there.
2.3, 2.4, okay. Oh, sorry, you need the T, don't you? Okay. Oh! Channel group.
Nice.
Ding.
And then let's see what modes they give you.
Are you ready? What do you want to bank on?
Mode on. That's what I'm gonna guess. Oh, well, active passive.
Active, passive.
Okay.
So they have LACP in it.
Yeah. Good.
No back B. But, you know, it's fine.
Cool.
Just, will it break? Nope, it didn't break. But I don't know if it works. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I hate that on Nexus. You need the T. Channel. Mode. On. What's the command? It's like show. I don't work on Nexus. I have no idea. I'll find it. It's not Fabric. It's gotta be. Layer 2 seems to work on Nexus. I mean.
Yeah, that's what a lot of the forum guys are saying. If you want layer 2, drag in the Nexus. And you could do most.
Show VLAN? Ooh, okay. Let's make it VLAN. VLAN 30. Name. Bruce A. Doesn't. Bruce underscore name.
Then you got to make Chuck Norris. Jose is asking, does it have virtual port channel? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I can see this,
Yeah.
so that gives me a good idea. Chuck Norris doesn't want a space in his name. Yeah, I mean, it seems to work.
Yeah, cool.
Now, am I going to configure everything to find out if it really works and how much it really works right now in the next 30 seconds? No. But now the question is, those topology files?
Should be able to save them.
Yeah, I can save them. The question is, what if I export one? And I say Humphrey. Export destination. What do they mean by export destination? general. Archive file. That's good. Give me my second one. Zip color, whatever. Oh, zip. So archive file. Let me send the file to home folder and see.
Let's see if it'll open in mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a fair test, right?
Yep.
Now, first question comes to mind. Where did it save it? Am I gonna have to search the entire PC to find it? I won't be surprised. That's the thing. It's like we will figure it out. It's just like, what was it by default? No idea.
Yeah. It'll take time.
Okay, so if I hit browse, oh, it's in program files VM Maestro, by the way. That's the default where VM Maestro is installed. So, VM Maestro. It's probably Humphrey has. Guess how big the file is?
2K.
13 gigabytes.
What?
I'm joking.
No.
It's 4K.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
13.1 gigawatts.
Okay, we download that sucker. So it asked you to zip it inside of VM Maestro, right? So,
Yeah,
so theoretically,
when you export, yeah, like,
archive
you
file.
can actually export to like a team project, a topology to an image. Like you can, you can export to different things.
Okay.
I chose archive because that makes sense to me. And then you can click in your topologies whatever you want, like the project file and the topology and blah blah. I only sent you the topology, not the config file.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it works. Import. I'm looking at your CSR, your NXOS, XRV, kind of like a diamond tadpole thing.
Don't tell me it works. Show the group, man.
Let's see here. All right. How do I get back to my... I truly detest Fuse.
Now, I just sent you the topology, right?
Yep.
What if you make a config, right? If you make a config and you actually want to send it back to me.
There you go.
Like something lame, and then let's try to have a portable config. Because that's what it's about, right?
Yeah, seeing if the config sticks. Well, yeah. I would guess...
Go to the simulation tab first.
Play it.
Yeah, because it's probably down. And then you need to go to the simulation tab.
Yeah, I know.
You see this.
Yeah, I want to go perspective. It's firing up.
So,
It's thinking.
yeah, topology EKHWJ6.
Yeah, that
That's
guy.
working.
Yeah, it's
So
starting
it
them.
says undeployed.
And then you
Oh,
can
so
see in the bottom right-hand corner everything as it's like it's staging,
undeployed.
undeployed, building, and then eventually like spawning, and then it'll say up or active. I've got other crap. Oh, maybe I should have. It's all right. Oh, laptop dying.
Why? Because your fan is like, I'm dying.
Whoa.
Yeah, mine didn't reach that much. I'll tell you that right
Yeah.
now. Maybe because I got more juice. Let's see. Is my stuff still active? It is. Yeah, everything's active. I got 3 topologies going, but they're not booting, I guess. And my CPU is at 20%.
Yeah.
And let's see how much Maestro takes. VMware hovers at about 6% at idle, and that's about it. So Fuse takes about 10% right now, and I have like other crap that takes like small little slices of 1%, like PDF reader and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get on them. It's going to take a while. But yeah, that's a good test. What I'll do is
Yeah, like send me a lab. Like, oh, here's what I did, here's what I saved, what's my mistake, and then it's like, oh, okay. Then I'm gonna change one line, and I'll send it right back to you, like fixed, and see if you can open the fixed version,
yeah.
and go back and forth. Be like, I type one line, you save, you export it. I type the other line, I save, I export.
Yeah.
And then try to build something. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. All right. What I'll do is I'll do it with the 2 router topology. That way we don't. It's a little bit faster, but
Oh, yeah,
it's good.
no, I get it, but like, I will run all 15.
Yeah.
It's just
Cool. All right, guys. So those of you who are still in the room, any final questions that you have for Paul or myself before we cut this one off? Showed you the install, and it was actually good that we actually showed you that everything works. Well, you can actually install it, and some of the VM Maestro stuff. So good that we got to that. So Jeremy, try a layer 2 or layer 3 external connection. I do not know how to do that with this. So we'll have to figure that one out.
there's gotta be
And
cloud thing somewhere. Oh, site multi-point. Okay, L3 external SNAT. It's in the
yeah,
general
general.
section under the nodes. Looks like cloud. But does that need to be done? I don't
We'll see. It's kind of weird having the design perspective and the simulation perspective. It's a little different way of looking at things, but yeah. And then you can have a lot of
everything that they did has a reason. We just don't know that reason yet. I think that with using it and forced to use their thinking, with time we may understand what they were trying to achieve and if they did it the right way for that, because it's kind of like probably the corporate version of VIRL has all sorts of bells and whistles, and this is just like the dialed down version, and it doesn't make sense in our version, but in their version it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yep.
I mean, you can do a lot with 15 routers. I mean, yeah.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, we're hitting the 1 hour 56-minute mark. Thanks for joining, all of you guys. We're going to edit this video down, pop it up. I also have to pop up the Wireshark stuff, but we're a little backlogged, but it'll get put up. So thanks to Paul for helping me out, and I will talk to all of you guys later.